Welcome to this year's session on reflection, visioning, and creation. As not all of my clients were able to participate in the Zoom call that I offered, I'm recording this so that you can do this exercise in your own time and your own speed and at your own convenience. What are we going to do? Let me share my screen so you can see my drawings. We are going to combine an exercise of what was your last year, the reflection of the previous year, tapping into your vision for the coming years ahead, and also creating a powerful path into the next year, the year in front of you. To start, I invite you to do a short centering exercise. Please step into a comfortable space, ground yourself, and if you want, close your eyes, and I invite you to be present into the room. Take a few deep breaths in and out. When you exhale, let go of everything that you don't need now. When you inhale, drop further into your presence. Feel that you're centered, that you're grounded. Your feet are connected to the ground like an anchor, like roots. And also that you're connected to the higher intuitive source, that you're connected through your upper chakra, your crown chakra, and that the energy can flow lightly through you, that you're well grounded and connected to the source energy, and that your zone of sovereignty is clear. Feel that your aura is a clear space in which you have 100% permission and sovereignty, and invite everything else to leave now, so that you have an hour of clear focus attached to your higher intuitive and maybe subconscious mind, and slow down to the intuitive. I call it slowing down to the speed of love. What you will need for this coming exercise is some pages of free paper and some pens so that you can draw and make notes. If you want, you can use some color. Make it easy, make it scribbly. So you might want to take some 10-15 pages of white paper, which you can work on. Okay, please allow yourself to be undisturbed for a good hour of time. The way you can do this is whenever you need more time for an exercise, journaling, writing down, collecting ideas, just stop the recording and then allow yourself, once you have completed or you feel completed for that exercise, to continue at your own speed. That makes the recording a little bit shorter than the actual time you might want to use for the whole experience. Feel free to put some gentle music in the background if you want, if that allows you. And if you want, light a candle so it gives you a centered, a focused of your attention for this exercise, as it is the intention to reflect your life, create your vision, and create this vision over different actions over the coming years so that you can abracadabra create the life that you want to create. Cool, let's start. Please take a first fresh paper and reflect on the key items of last year. What do you want to celebrate on? If you take the reflection, what are the 3 items, maybe 4 or 5 items that you really want to celebrate? What was the key achievements, the key points of last year that make it to the top list of experiences that you want to celebrate? If you want to take more, you can write more, but go for the top 3 at least. And very often on the way to success, there's also stumbling blocks where you stumble, it doesn't work as you want, and this is all the lessons learned. So I invite you to write your key achievements and as well some of the lessons learned from the last year. And you take your time to write this and reflect this at your own speed. And once you've completed this, you can continue for the next exercise. Please take a fresh new sheet and move on to the next page, which is the energy audit. Please reflect, put a line in the middle, put on the top side draining of energy, events of last year that drained you of energy and might still drain you of energy even now, situations that have not changed. And what events have created where you gained energy that really inspired you, that opened energy for you in big term over the last year. And here I invite you to take a list of top events that drained you of energy and some that really allowed you to create energy. Put at least 3, maybe even 5 or more on this list. It's all building blocks for what you want to create next. And take your time to finish this list as much as you need, and then you can continue. As the next, take a new fresh page, and we will do impact and focus. On the last year, if you consider your big vision where you want to go on your path, your journey north, what were the key 3 items, 3 events, 3 experiences that really focused, helping paying towards your focus, your impact, the impact, your purpose into the world that you want to give? So that really, they don't need to necessarily be exactly north, but experiences that are pointing towards your bigger focus, your lighthouse, your focus. I use the lighthouse as a focus of the purpose. And on the other side of the compass, you might want to put at least 2 things, or 2 items, 2 ideas that you stopped doing, that you have given up, that you have finished because they're not paying towards your purpose. They're not giving you energy. They're not leading there. And if there's the same that you've already written on other pages, that's fair enough. Take your time to come up with at least 3 events, items that last year really strengthened your focus towards your bigger purpose. And also consider, what did you let go? What baggage did you let behind? Take the time that you need. And once you've finished, let's continue to the next page. Number 3 item after energy and focus is growth. Reflect on, where did you grow last year? And for me, there's three zones of growth. There's really 10x growth, where you really took a long path. Is there anything that you created in your growth, your experience, where you really stepped up the game? So like a 10x or doubling the rate or something that really made a major shift. But more often, it's probably the phase in the middle, the 1% growth. Where did you grow by incrementally exponentially 1% over a longer period of time? What experiences, events did you participate in that paid into your growth, your development, your acceleration? And often, not everything works for the first time. So it's like the prototyping. It takes 2 or 3 iterations for something to take and grow. And in the classical word, it's a failure, where you failed, and you would be judged on failure. Though for most growth, experiential phases is something that is part of the learning curve, your lessons learned. So which growth ideas, intentions, attempts that you participated on last year actually didn't harvest fruit? They seem to have stalled or failed. Come up with at least 2 that didn't go where you passed a long pass and it fell into the sideline, it dropped. If you want to take more time to come up with more, feel free to do so. And once you're finished, let's continue to the next page. These were the reflections of where you had your energy, where you focused your impact, and where you put in growth elements. This is all about last year. What did you do last year that on the long version will benefit and pay into your vision in 3 years out? The question that I'd like to ask here is, imagine we meet again in 3 years' time, and you had the best 3 years of your life. What would you tell me? What do you tell me? And give me at least 3, if not elements of that future that you have created, that you're living, and that you really love to share with the world, where you have put your effort, your dedication, your energy in creation. And if you have already done this last year, you can even take the 2 or 3 items from last year and see if they have changed, if there's something else that came into, and write them. Write them in sentences or put them with symbols. Scribble something, at least 3, and if you want, even up to 5. Take the time that you want and go through this exercise at your own pace. And once you're done, let's take a new page and go next to mastery. Path of mastery is, in order to have completed this vision 3 years out, or even 5 years out, what have you mastered? With what risks have you overcome? The challenges that were on the path that you are proud that you have mastered them. Looking hindsight, oh, there's challenges, there's risk that you needed to overcome. What are the key 3 risks that have you mastered over the last 3 years when you take from a future perspective back? And on the other side, if you don't take the risk aversion, the lower path of risk aversion, risk mitigation, what if you have really played a very creative game of opportunity, of chance, of growth, upper limit, really at the upper higher energy path? What chances, what opportunities have you created over the last 3 years if you have really engaged and doubled down on the game and played in your zone of genius? And here again, come up with 3 items. You might want to take your time, you really here, slow down and reflect. What is the key risk and the key chances, opportunities that are on your path of mastery? want to stop here and take your time and really reflect on that. And when you feel to go to the next page, let's move to the zone of genius. The vision, to create a vision, does usually require to double down in the zone of genius. All what you know in competence and excellence, let that behind and really focus into your zone of genius. And it helps to extract and play with the unique strength, your talents, your unique gifts that you bring to the world. And please list at least 2 or 3 of them that really play in your zone of genius. If you play there, it feels like joy and play, and it doesn't cost you much of energy because it's really one of your gifts. And every strength does have a shadow, has a price to it. If you're a strong visionary, the price might be that execution in the minutiae, in the detail, is a weakness. Or if you are really good in processes and tactics and methods and reaching out to people, building network might be something that's more difficult for you. So there's usually to a key strength, you find some shadow, a price that comes with that unique strength. And the work in the coaching field is, how can you live more into your unique strength and find people in your community that help you with your shadows? So that find somebody else who has a uniqueness in that domain, and you can involve them and create something together where 2 people are playing from their zone of genius rather than their weaknesses. One of the key elements in zone of genius play is saying no to. What do you need to say no to, let go, finish, in order to spend more time in your zone of genius? A courageous no, something almost like kill a darling, something that has been very comfortable up to now, which the requirement is that you need to kill this darling in order to step into your, or leap into your zone of genius even more. I let you reflect on this page, take your time, and when you want to continue, let's go to the next page. Before we really go into creation, let's have a short break. If you want to have a short stop, you might want to need that moment right now and allow yourself some break, a bio break. Breathe, take something, a drink, because you have done some reflection work where you're coming from, visioning work, what's the long-term path you want to go to. And the third step we're doing now is really creating the 6 to 12 months that are in front of you. Once you feel refreshed, please come back. And we start with the creation section. In the creation section, I invite you to take some of the key building blocks that you have worked on, mastered on for last year, and put them again into your playing field for next year on the path to your vision. What are these? What are the key objectives that you want to play from? A goal is a place to come from. So what are the key building blocks that you want to evolve further on in this coming year? Please write them around your center. You can use 3 or maybe 5. Don't make it too many. Don't make it too complex. I prefer 5 because that's easy to count on one hand. But 3 to start with is totally fine as well. And once you have defined the key building blocks, what you want to create in the coming year, Take a different color, like green for resources, what I already have, what's already to build on, what have I already created over the last years, which I can leverage for the next step. And think about, what do you need to create? Where do you need to create something over the next 6 to 12 months that pays towards to your vision, that is required to be part of this whole ensemble in order for this particular creation to take a big step forward? Is it an upgrade in the way you are visible to the world? In my case, my upgrade of my website. I already have a good website, good pictures, and I want to take it to a next level and write some particular texts that I have not shared yet. Or is it working with clients? Or is it learning? Is it taking some courses or engaging with a coach? What are the areas that you want to create, invest, and commit to over the course of the year that will help you grow in this particular domain? And I let you think in your own quiet time and scribble and journal and write on this one. And once you're finished, we will go to the next page. In order to create your vision, it requires identity. Identity, according to Steve Hardison, creates everything else. So I really encourage you to reflect on, what identity do you want to create over the next year? What themes do you want to follow? And they usually the wording is, I am an entrepreneur. I am courageous. I am. It starts with I am, and then you follow whatever you want to follow with a sentence. Something that, if you want to be a runner, then write I am a runner. A runner runs regularly. A runner runs a marathon. So it's the identity that you want to live from, which creates the outside results. Every being side comes with an outside doing side. So if you are a runner, I want to be a runner, I am a runner, there is a doing side to it, which means regular runs, being in practice mode, having a rest day. So come up with 2, 3, 4, 5 being items, sentences, and how they then translate in doing activities. And I leave you the space to come up with your own that really resonate with you, that pay towards your bigger vision. That list can be longer than 3 or 5. My personal list of my being statements is some 30 being statements that I frequently review and rewrite, because it creates my whole activity. It's the whole life purpose that I'm creating from this one. And let you the time that you need to do this exercise at your own pace. And be aware, it might take the reflection with a coach to make that really fine-tuned and strong, because sometimes these statements can be contradictory, and it requires some fine-tuning to make them playful and help each other in the long run. For a fulfilled year, what are the 3 biggest dominoes that at the end of the year you want to celebrate? Remember the first session, the reflection session, the first 3 items that you want to celebrate. Fast forward and create an identity and a vision. What are the 3 domino pieces that you want to celebrate end of the coming year? And step into yourself. What are the 3 biggest movements, dominoes that will help to shift all other dominoes as well. And once you've come up with 3 of these, I invite you to connect to the feeling that you feel when you get there, when you look back, when you reflect next year on the session. How does it feel that you have experienced this domino, this topic? And in an outside world, how do you recognize it is a 10 out of 10? If it's in a business section, how does a 10 out of 10 in business client creation feel like? Or if it's something about relationship, or it's about something, an experience of a vacation, how does a 10 out of 10 feel like, and how does it look like? So if you need some additional access, just imagine, who are you being that is experiencing this? Step into the being that is seeing this. How are you seeing it? How are you hearing it? And who are you being that is experiencing this particular domino as a 10 out of 10? And I invite you to play with these 3 dominoes so you can, again and again, over the course of the year, feel into them, look into them, and see if in that coming week or the coming month, you have opportunities to create this feeling and pull it in towards you already. If it's working with clients, how can you make this a 10 out of 10 client experience that really engages you, lights up your energy, pays towards your focus, and lets you grow? And as I gave you a lot of tools, I invite you to, again and again over the course of the year, pull out these notes and see how they play, how you come up with ideas, what is emerging, what is creating. Because it's a long journey, it's a visionary journey. And if you complete it this year or next year, that's timing. So timing it's made up. It's more the feeling. How are you creating this? Making this coming year a very powerful, fulfilling year. And with all of these elements, I'd like you to take and spread them out in front of you on the floor and really take some time, maybe 10, 15 minutes at your own time, and go through these notes again. Take some colors, look for some themes, and even invite somebody that you want to share this with. Abracadabra, speaking it into the world. It's a first step to have it written on paper, which you can share with the world around you. So it really makes a shift if you step and speak it into the world. And if you need any help going further, going deeper, or if something wasn't very clear, or you'd like to go deeper, feel invited to reach out to me. I'm happy to take some time and deepen some of the activities that we did here concerning reflection, vision, creation. That's what I do. I love helping people to create their dreams in a big way. That's my zone of genius. I love playing there. You make my day if you ask me to support you with something special. And if you want on a longer journey, I'm happy to consider and write and discuss how working together could look like. For now, I wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful year to come. Play big and create long-term big impact over the world. because that's what you're here for. Think about it. You're more powerful than you think. All the talents you bring into the world are here to be shared with the world, because that's service. And creating joy and raising the level of energy will have a long-term impact for everyone. I wish you a blessed year ahead. And if you need any help on the way, I invite you to reach out to me and let's have a chat. Take good care. Bye-bye.